Alex had always been different. While other kids played in the streets, dreaming of simple things like becoming athletes or doctors, Alex's imagination soared far beyond. He often found himself lost in thoughts of building something big, something that would change the world. Growing up in a small town where people didn't dare to dream too big, his ideas were met with skepticism. "Why aim so high when you can just settle for something simpler?" his parents would ask. They didn't mean to discourage him, but they couldn't understand why he would waste his energy on something so unlikely. His classmates thought he was foolish, too. At school, Alex often daydreamed in class, sketching out plans for inventions, business ideas, and ways to make the world a better place. His peers didn't understand. They laughed when he shared his dreams. "You, a businessman?" they'd mock. But Alex wasn't bothered by their taunts. In fact, it only fueled his desire to prove them wrong. He knew what he wanted and believed in himself even when no one else did. His dream wasn't about fame or fortune. It was about making an impact. So, as the years passed, Alex worked harder, spending his free time learning new skills and gathering knowledge that would help him build his vision. No matter how impossible it seemed, Alex knew that as long as he kept pushing forward, one day he would show everyone that dreams weren't meant to be laughed at. They were meant to be realized. As Alex moved into adulthood, his dream of building something remarkable never wavered, but the journey was far from easy. College life was a reality check. Surrounded by peers from wealthy families, Alex felt like an outsider. While others had connections, money, and opportunities, he worked multiple part-time jobs just to pay for his tuition. His classmates were busy networking and securing internships at top companies, but Alex's focus was always on his goal, to start his own business. They couldn't understand why he wasn't following the traditional path. "Why not get a regular job like everyone else?" they'd ask, puzzled by his determination. But Alex refused to compromise. He spent countless nights learning about entrepreneurship, reading books, and watching videos about successful people who had come from nothing. Yet, with every step forward, there were 2 steps back. His business idea seemed too big, too unrealistic to others. He faced rejection after rejection from potential investors, mentors, and even friends. The financial burden weighed heavily on him, and sometimes he doubted himself. Was he chasing a dream that would never come true? But in those dark moments, he found something powerful within himself: resilience. Alex knew the road ahead wasn't going to be easy, but he didn't care. He was willing to fight for his dream, even if that meant enduring hardships that seemed impossible to overcome. No matter how many times he was knocked down, Alex kept getting up, knowing that every struggle brought him closer to making his dream a reality. The years of hard work and rejection had begun to wear Alex down, but he wasn't ready to give up. After graduation, he took the bold step of starting his own tech company with little more than a borrowed laptop and an unwavering belief in his idea. His friends and family watched, shaking their heads in disbelief. They said he was wasting his time. The market was saturated, they told him, and without funding or connections, his business would never survive. Alex, however, was determined. The first few months were a whirlwind of sleepless nights and tireless efforts. He worked on his product every chance he got, teaching himself coding and business strategies. But the challenges never stopped. He couldn't afford marketing, so he relied on word of mouth and his social media presence to get attention. Slowly, his small startup began to gain traction. One afternoon, after months of hard work and countless failures, Alex received an email that would change everything. A major investor who had previously dismissed his pitch called him back. This time, the investor was interested. He saw the potential in Alex's business and was willing to offer him the capital he needed. It was the breakthrough Alex had been waiting for. With the new investment, Alex was able to hire a small team, build a more refined product, and expand his business. For the first time, his vision was starting to feel real. The dreamer, who had once been laughed at, was now being taken seriously. Alex knew this was only the beginning, but it was a turning point that proved anything was possible if you never gave up. As Alex's business began to grow, so did his confidence. What started as a small tech startup with no guarantee of success was now showing signs of life. With the investment he had secured, Alex was able to scale up, hire a dedicated team, and improve his product. The next few months were a blur of late nights, strategy meetings, and relentless problem solving. But every challenge Alex faced only motivated him to push harder. His company slowly began to attract attention from the right people. First, it was a few positive reviews from bloggers. Then, word of mouth spread, and more customers started knocking on his digital door. As the demand for his product grew, so did his ambition. Alex reinvested every penny into his business, determined to keep the momentum going. Finally, after a year of hard work, his company landed its first major partnership with a leading tech brand. This deal not only validated Alex's vision, but also positioned his company as a serious player in the industry. It was a moment of triumph, but Alex knew that this was just the beginning. The breakthrough he had been waiting for had arrived. His business was no longer just a dream, it was a legitimate company with real customers and a growing reputation. The same people who had once doubted him were now watching in awe as Alex's vision came to life. He had proved them wrong, not with words, but with actions. And in that moment, Alex realized that his journey had taught him more than just business skills. It had shown him the power of persistence and the importance of believing in yourself when no one else does. As the years passed, Alex's company transformed from a humble startup into a thriving business. The challenges he faced in the early days had hardened him, and his relentless drive had paid off. His company had grown exponentially, and it so had his influence. What was once just a dream, mocked by others, was now a reality that commanded respect. Alex had become the CEO of a company that was changing the landscape of the tech industry. But with success came new challenges. Managing a growing business, overseeing a larger team, and navigating the competitive market were tasks that required even more dedication and leadership. However, Alex had learned that success wasn't just about the numbers. It was about creating a company culture that valued hard work, innovation, and collaboration. He wanted to build something lasting, something that wasn't just profitable, but meaningful. The road to this point had been long and filled with setbacks, but Alex had learned to embrace failure as part of the journey. He understood now that it was those very failures that had built the foundation for his success. As the CEO, Alex didn't let the recognition get to his head. He remained humble, always remembering the struggle, the late nights, and the sacrifices it took to get here. He was no longer the boy who had been laughed at, but a leader who had proven that dreams could be achieved through perseverance. His story became an inspiration to others, a reminder that no matter how impossible a dream may seem, with the right mindset and relentless effort, anyone could turn it into a reality. Looking back, Alex realized that the journey was never about the destination. It was about the lessons learned, the people he met along the way, and the unwavering belief that no dream was too big to pursue. As the CEO of a successful company, he had achieved more than he ever imagined, but what truly mattered to him was the legacy he was building. Alex had always wanted to make an impact, not just in business, but in the lives of others. He had started from nothing, had faced countless rejections, and had been doubted by everyone around him. Yet, he had persisted, and now his company was a beacon of hope for others who dared to dream big. His story was no longer just about his success. It was about inspiring the next generation to believe in themselves and take bold steps toward their own dreams. In meetings and interviews, Alex often spoke about the importance of resilience, hard work, and the willingness to fail and try again. He knew that true success wasn't measured by wealth or status, but by the ability to inspire others to reach for the stars. As he watched his company grow and saw the positive impact it had on communities, Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had turned his dream into a reality, but more importantly, he had created a path for others to follow. In the end, Alex's story wasn't just about one man's journey to success. It was a testament to the power of never giving up. The boy who was once laughed at was now the man whose story would inspire generations to come. And that, Alex realized, was his greatest achievement. If Alex's story inspired you, don't forget to show some love. Like this video, leave a comment, and share it with anyone who needs a boost. Subscribe to Struggle Stories for more incredible journeys of perseverance and success. Your support means the world. Join the Struggle Stories family and stay motivated to chase your dreams.